Energy is universal, it is everywhere, and it comes in a variety of frequencies, some that feel absolutely amazing and some that are significantly less so. And today we're going to explore how we as human beings are conduits for that energy and what the impact of that can be. Hello, fabulous. I hope today is treating you kindly. If you haven't done so already, please do like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and leave a comment below. Do all of the things. It's always much appreciated. I tend to have issues sleeping, and my brain tends to really like to be active at night, coming up with all kinds of creative solutions, sometimes trying to solve the world's problems because of reasons I'm not sure why. But anyway, my brain will be very busy at night. And recently I had an experience where this meditation kind of came to me. I actually woke up with the idea for this meditation that we're about to do in my brain. And before we get into that, I do want to break it down a little bit. So, energy is essentially just different frequencies, right? So, like you experience energy all day long, every day, in all its various formats. So, like there's light energy that comes from, the lights in your house or, sunshine, that kind of stuff. There's sound frequency. You're experiencing the energy, the vibrational frequency of my voice hitting your ears as you watch this video. There's just, a presence around individuals. Like some folks make you feel really safe and secure and wonderful. Other folks feel like you need to take a hot shower for about a week. Energy is everywhere. It permeates everything. There is nothing that energy doesn't touch. And what occurred to my brain at dark 30 is that I am a conduit for that energy. All the energy of the universe flows through me. And that's not to sound like totally, I don't even know, arrogant or anything like that. It is that I am a conduit, I am a vessel through which all the frequencies that exist can travel through my being. So like if you think about just your emotional range, you can experience the huge spectrum of emotional responses to all sorts of things. You're a conduit for that emotional energy. Or just your senses, your perceiving of all the different things that are around you that you can feel and hear and taste and see and smell and touch, all those things. You are a conduit for all of that energy. All of the energy of the universe flows through me. And I was like, oh my God, how deeply profound. Because the thing about being a conduit, if you think about like the traditional sense of conduit, like if you're an electrician, for example, the whole point of it is to allow for the free flow of that energy, in which case, in the context of an electrician, it would be electricity from the power source to your home, for example. The conduit's job is to make sure that there is a smooth, uninterrupted flow. And it's the same with Reiki. So when I am facilitating a healing for somebody, like I do frequently on this channel, I am the conduit. The energy flows from source. I am not the source of said energy, but the source of this energy flows through me as the channel into my recipient, whoever that is. In this case, it's you. So if all of the energy of the universe flows through me, I get to be the conduit of all the energy in the universe. What a huge responsibility. Also, what a privilege. Also, what if we can choose the energy that we are a conduit for? And when I say that, I mean that, we've had similar discussions previously in other videos about how if we're presented with two options, let's say, if we're presented with looking at all the yucky things in the world, or like, to keep it even simpler, like a piece of art that doesn't speak to you versus all of the wonderful things in the world, or a piece of art that does speak to you that you really like, you get to choose which one you look at. You can either choose choose to focus, be a conduit for the energy that's ick, looking at the things that you don't like, and you're over here going, ugh, no, that's not for me. And then, kind of becoming a bit preoccupied with all of that. Or you can look over here at the thing that you actually want to look at, the thing that is in alignment with you, the thing that does speak to your soul. And you can just be over here and experiencing being a conduit for this energy. That doesn't mean that this over here that's yucky or bad doesn't exist. It's still very much here. The thing is, that's the beast you're not feeding. This beast gets smaller because it has less energy. Remember, where your attention goes, your energy flows? We can change what energies we are conduits for based on what we're attending to, i.e., what's grabbed our focus. It doesn't mean this doesn't have power, okay? That doesn't mean this doesn't exist and it's not a big scary monster, right? But if we're over here existing in the things that are for us, whether it's love, compassion, kindness, whatever it is, fill in the blank, whatever it is that speaks to you. If you're over here, you're so busy over here, this is the conduit for which you are choosing to allow energy to flow. You are choosing to be the conduit for this energy. What's happening over here doesn't matter as much. It's still there, but it's not as present. And frankly, whatever's happening over here don't need to be as present, because there's a lot of discord and we could absolutely focus on that. And there's a lot of investment in getting us to focus on that. Every single news channel on the planet wants you to be focused on all the wrong things, all the things that are bad and horrible, that produce, feelings of fear and frustration and helplessness. And again, all the energy of the universe can flow through us. We can channel all of that stuff. But the thing is, we don't have to. We have so much more power than that. We can focus our energy on that which brings us lightness and brightness and joy, things that make our soul sparkle, because your soul being super sparkly makes everybody else sparkly too. Kind of like, I'm sure you've heard this saying and it sounds really cliche, but I don't care because I'm using it anyways. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. This candle over here is still just as light if it goes over here and lights this one. And then we've got two candles. And then we have twice as much light. When we focus over here, when we choose to become the conduit for the kinds of energy that we wish to experience more of in the world, we create more opportunities to light more candles. We create more opportunities for people to experience being a conduit for that kind of energy. And that, my friends, is powerful. That level of influence, that level of willingness, that level of just decision making, stepping into our power, choosing which kinds of energy we want to filter through us and have others experience as a result of being near us. That's extraordinary. You are extraordinary. Making the active choice, it's not always easy, right? It's not even fun in a lot of cases sometimes, when everything feels dark and heavy and we're not always able to do this consciously, especially if we're experiencing trauma, grief, anything like that. It does make it very hard. That does not mean that just because a vibrational frequency doesn't feel good, that it is not valid, that it is bad, negative, or wrong. It just means that it is. You may like yellow and I may like green. Does that make one of us right or more right than the other? Not necessarily. Multiple things can exist as truth simultaneously. One is not necessarily always mutually exclusive of the other, okay? But I will tell you this, when you are choosing to be a conduit for the higher vibrational frequencies, i.e. love, joy, peace, those kinds of things that tend to feel universally good, you can't exist in a vibrational frequency of guilt, shame, anger, resentment, that kind of stuff. You cannot. That doesn't mean you can't experience both. You just can't experience them both at the same time. So if I have the choice, when I am cognizant of it, in other words, when I am paying attention to my thoughts and my experiences. If I have the choice between existing in a space where I feel disgusting, like I am annoyed, angry, irritated, feeling guilt, shame, judgment, blaming, any of that kind of stuff, focusing on the yick, the things that don't feel as good, versus being grateful, being receptive to the positive things that are around me, like just existing in even a momentary interaction that is positive for both parties, experiencing love, thinking about love and joy and things that I can appreciate just because they are, and I can look forward to and feel uplifted. Which one am I going to choose? And there's no judgment. You do what you want. I know people who spent their whole entire life focused on all the ick, and that's how they chose to live. And I felt sad for those individuals because it wasn't necessary, nor do I believe it was particularly healthy or helpful for those people. But I honor their choice. It's not my life. I don't get to decide how it's lived. I get to decide how I live my life and what I want to be a conduit for, by and large. And I'd rather be over here. Believe me, I am a person who is a recovering negative Nancy. And I don't mean to say that the Nancys in the world are negative. I'm just saying that as a phrase. But I was one who, if you needed someone to rain on your parade, which nobody really does, I would bring the monsoon during like an El Nino. It would be so bad. Like if you needed someone to settle you down or bring you back to earth or be super negative and nasty, like I would just say I was being honest. I was that person. And I didn't do it because I meant to be hurtful or shaming or any of that kind of thing. I just didn't know better. I didn't realize I could see things in a different way. I didn't realize that I could choose my truth. I didn't realize that not everything has to be viewed through the lens of negativity. And it changed my life. And literally one of the things that I did that made that change much more attainable and much more quick was a gratitude journal. So if you haven't done that yet, you might think about it. Literally every single day, I write down 3 things at the end of my day, sometimes at the beginning, but mostly at the end. 3 things. And we've talked about this before. 3 things every day that I am grateful that happened, or that I am just grateful are in existence. And it doesn't matter what they are. There's no judgment. But you get to choose. You get to choose. All of the energy in the universe flows through me. So let's experience that for a hot second, okay? Let's experience that concept of all the energy in the universe flows through me. I invite you to take a nice deep breath and settle into the surface you're resting on. You can allow those eyes to close. And you can soften the breath into the belly. Just notice from head to toe any areas of tension or discomfort. You can send the breath into those areas. And with that breath, you can experience the vibrational frequency of whatever it is that you desire. If you desire peace, if you desire love, if you desire relief, even just a lessening of whatever discomfort or tension you might be experiencing, draw that in with the breath. You can say to yourself out loud or silently in your mind, all of the energy in the universe flows through me. I'd like to invite you to call to mind a prism. It could be a crystal, a piece of cut glass that's faceted, something that breaks up the light. So experience white light shining through this crystal and notice that as it does so, that the way that the crystal is faceted, it breaks up those frequencies of light such that you get to experience a rainbow of beautiful colors. All of the energy in the universe flows through me. I am the crystal. I am that which breaks up those frequencies into all of their many parts. The energy of the universe that flows through me is whole and complete, just as that light. As it enters into me, I can choose what frequencies, what energy I put out. I could have anger, hate, frustration, guilt, shame, all of those things. I can also have love, peace, compassion, joy, companionship, belonging, acceptance. All of these things, all of the energy in the universe flows through me. Notice what feels aligned for you. You are the crystal. You get to break down all of that energy into its component parts. You get to decide what energy shines through you as this beautiful conduit of all of the universal frequencies. You get to decide. And you get to decide moment by moment. You get to decide always. If your frequency feels a bit lower for whatever reason, there is no judgment here. Whatever you feel, and it is valid. If reflecting on a story that is either real or only in your mind, if that brings you lower than you would like to be, you can stay there if you want. All of the energy in the universe flows through me. You can also choose something different, whatever that means for you. All of the energy in the universe flows through me. I get to tell a new story. I get to honor myself and all the previous versions of myself, as well as the versions of myself that have yet to be, that I have yet to grow into. There is opportunity for you to honor all that is, all that was, all that will be. All that we have is now. We can choose what we carry with us. We can choose what we carry forward. We can choose our focus. We can choose to put things down, just as we can choose to carry things along with us. The choice is yours. All of the energy of the universe flows through me. All of the energy in the universe flows through you. Notice how that feels. Notice the sensations in your body. Notice your thoughts. Notice any emotions that come up. What you feel is valid. You are accepted and you belong regardless of what you feel. Notice how empowering it is to know that you can take responsibility for what frequencies you experience, what frequencies you carry forward, that others will experience, that you will experience moving through yourself. It's okay if it feels weird or foreign. There is no judgment. It's okay. Just allow yourself to be here. All of the energy of the universe flows through me. I get to choose what I am a conduit for. I get to choose what energies flow through me. Even if they're all there, I am the crystal. I decide what I reflect back. And it's okay if I am not always aware of the energy that flows through me. I give myself permission to notice and adjust as I notice. I give myself permission to make adjustments as I see fit. I give myself permission to be absolved of any guilt or shame or blame or judgment over anything I put out in the world that I didn't mean to. I give myself permission to feel whatever I feel, whenever I feel it. I honor myself always. All of the energy that flows through the universe is currently flowing through me. Notice your power. Notice what a gift you are just for being here, allowing yourself to be a conduit for this energy. Allowing yourself the experience of being one of the amazing beings through which all the energy of the universe can flow through. What a blessing. Allow yourself to take a few deep, slow breaths. Release that breath slowly. Fill the lungs to their full capacity and release the breath. With the breath goes anything that no longer serves you. All of the energy in the universe flows through me. I get to decide what I put out in the world. I get to decide what I experience and how. I get to decide. Let's bring some gentle movement into the body. Maybe wiggle those fingers and toes. Rock that head gently from side to side. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and return to this space and this time. Welcome back, Fabulous. I hope that that was as extraordinary for you as it was for me to experience with you. I love the idea of taking that ownership, that responsibility for ourselves and how we present and how we get to choose to participate and experience this life together. And I know it's scary and I know it's kind of icky sometimes to kind of be in that space, and it can be very, very, very tempting to blame yourself for all of the things that you didn't know or that you'd been doing that you didn't realize. And I would like to allow you to be a conduit for the kindness and the peace and the love that exists at the core of your being, because ultimately that's what's important. We're not going to get it right 100% of the time, and that's okay. No one's asking us to do that. No one's asking for that. It's not possible anyway. All of the energy within the universe, all of those frequencies, all of it flows through you, flows through me. We get to decide how it's funneled, how it's channeled, how it's experienced. And that, my friend, is your magical superpower. So thank you with glitter on it for choosing to hang out with me today, and I hope you have a sparkly rest of your day.